Brothers, women own about 63 to 65% of that student loan debt, but they say they're happier without men. Let's see how much more antidepressants they're going to be needing as between men and women. I just want to be clear on the data. They're on it, 17%, and men take it about 8.4%. Studies from the CDC of 2015 and 2018. Now, of course, that number goes up in older women. Let's say 3% of women age 60 and older reported using antidepressant compared to women that are like 18 to 39. I think that's 10%. So women that are younger, they take it less, and women who are older, they get on it more. What happened as we get older? We age, right? And we can't move the way we used to. And that student loan is coming. That student loan is coming. And women make up 63 to 65% of that debt. It's your boy Ken from Ken's Locked In. Today is just going to be a video of me just giving my take on just the current crisis, the dating market, all of these things, and as to why, like, what's going on with this gender war between men and women. It's not that men are saying that we don't love women or we don't want women around us. We're just not going to deal with the BS. We're not going to deal with, like, we got to the point where, like, okay, it was cute and funny in the beginning saying, oh, we don't need a man. Just, we just thinking she's just talking. She's just yapping. But when you get to the point where y'all really believe this, and then some people think like, oh, it's just, like my mom, she was like, oh, they're not saying they don't need a man. They're saying that, that they just don't need a relationship, but I still think it's cap. But you have women who really believe that, they just didn't have the opportunity to, get caught up in how to build the infrastructures and, basically getting STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and etc. Stuff that really pays the bills, because there's always going to be things needed in society. I don't care how advanced we get. Still going to need people to have like the plumbing. These are the things that men don't really get credit for, because these are not like the white collar jobs, as far as like, the grit type of jobs, like the garbage men, all of these things. I mean, I just seen in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, I think in like early July, that they went on strike. The sanitization, wasn't getting paid enough money, so they just went on strike. Now, it was short-lived. They went on strike for a week, but it wasn't really short-lived, because if you look at that garbage out there and the smell, especially when it gets hot, I cannot even imagine. Okay, I can imagine like not trying to make people feel valued who do very important work. But imagine how men feel in general, where they feel left over and picked over by women who feel like, oh, well, you're not a millionaire, or you're not making $100K a year, which most people aren't making that money. Most people are not making $100K a year. Like, this country is bleeding with money. It's bleeding. It is not doing well. And so the reason I'm going to bring up the whole happiness thing, because, and I'm not sure if I said this, but maybe I can say it again just in case if I didn't say it. Morgan Stanley study shows within 5 years, 45% of women will be single and childless between the age of 25 and 44. That is the prime working years. I invested in Chewy. I think men or everyone should invest in Chewy. That's a very good stock to invest in. DraftKings as well too, because a lot of men aren't trying to get married, so they might as well just save their money and just put it in that. I think Chewy is a very good, it's a pet brand. It's not just for cats, it's for dogs as well too. Treats, all that good stuff. I don't even own a pet yet. Like, I'm a cat person, but I don't even own a cat yet. But I just think that we have to understand what our odds are getting what we want. Men just want something simple. We don't need a whole lot. We're like a dog. We don't need a whole lot. We just need attention. But we don't need attention the way women need attention. The attention that men really need, in the sense of like, hey, remind us that we're doing a very good job. We're working hard every day. We're working to pay these bills. Okay. Respect us. Respect goes a very long way. Like I don't care if you like me. Respect is very important. That's all I care about. And it's also how you carry yourself. Like, as a man, I just want to be clear too. You want to be a man that a woman or people would respect. You can't, like, see, you got a lot of women who think that, men just talk about women all day and just yap and just talk about, oh, how bad women are. No, there are dudes out here who are clear betas and simps. And I'm not going to get to them in a second because I'm going to get to them right now. There are a lot of simps that need their ass whooped. And I'm talking about like, because what they're doing is they're doing this thing where, like, in society, we know what it is between men and women. We know what it is. We know that, we don't walk up to them. We don't talk to them like that. And you should be careful because it's different between, a woman saying, hey, I like your attention and I want your attention and I smile, but she might just find you attractive versus I don't like you, you're creepy, but I just did the same thing that one guy that was attractive to you did, and now you're calling the cops. And for some reason, you got other men who know that this could happen to them and they defend against it. They'll call you, all type of stuff. Oh, you must don't get any. You must be a all that stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not understanding. Like, bro, she don't like you, bro. Like, you trying to white knight for a chick that don't like. Listen, I speak fluent English and womanese. I promise you, when I tell you, women will say one thing and do the other. Oh, I want a nice guy, but they boyfriends are assholes. Oh, I want a guy who's, very soft and sweet. He can listen to what I say, but then the guy never texts her back, and somehow she's always with a narcissist. I'm just telling you what it is. I don't go off what people are telling me and what they're yapping about. I'm going off what they're showing me. So for some reason, he's always got these dudes, or they just not, or they're not in the sense of handling their business. I just want to say this because I don't want to make it or be one of the content creators where it's just like I'm just dumping everything on the women. I agree. As a man, you should be focused on your purpose. You should be getting in the gym. You should be, working on your finances. Okay, all of that stuff is very good. Learning skills. But this is the one thing I need everybody to understand between men and women, especially men in this dating market, if you still try to play in it, is having boundaries. Boundaries are very important. It's not even just with dating, that's with family, that's with even with your job. Don't just say, oh, I'll come in, 10 days a week. No. If you came in and you did your time, you did your time. See, people don't like you for real the way you think people like you. And people will get over on you if they feel like they can. It's just that simple. It's people take advantage of people like that. That's just what it is. It's like the nature of it. People take advantage of who they feel like they can take advantage of. The weak. And you got women who will especially do that. But see, women a lot of times don't come out and just say, now they're kind of boldly talking junk now, but women won't boldly just come out and say these things. They'll kind of give you a puzzle or a clue and you got to figure it out. And it's like, no, just be straight up transparent and just be honest. Like, okay, yeah, I don't date chicks who are into like going out every day or every weekend dressing like whatever. I don't date chicks like that. And the thing is, I want men to understand this. When you do this, let's say she don't like it. Bye. Goodbye. Like, if you weren't getting something, see, this is the thing that I just want to be very clear in general. This is my motto. If I'm upfront with you right away, and I wasn't getting something from you anyway, am I really missing anything if you leave? No, I'm not missing. I can't miss out on something I've never had. You understand what I'm saying? You got guys that will go and try to get a car for these chicks. They'll try to, finance car, trying to take out loans to finance the car. So they can say, hey, I own it, right? And then they're having trouble paying back that loan. Or I'm going to try to lease a car. The average lease is what? $745. When most Americans a lot of Americans are losing their jobs, most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. The auto loan, I think, is the second highest rate of debt behind the mortgage loan. Fact check me if it's the second highest, but I think I've read somewhere where it says the second highest. Okay. All these car repossession. Is that a flex? Imagine you out on a date trying to like flex for this chick, right? And them repos, they pull up. I was going home one day in the rain, and it was storming. It was raining. It was like a scary story type of storm. Like it was just like dark and everything, wet and nasty. My man still pulled up on him at his house to come get that car. Is that a flex? If you were in the driveway or you about to leave, y'all go get something to eat with your lady, and you trying to impress her and trying to get a nice car that you can't afford for real, and then you get that repossessed. You think she's sticking around in? No, man. And we know how these chicks are. A lot of time they're about the money. They're about the finances. That's all they about. Okay. And they're not making the money the way they try to act like. Just like OF models and the sick. Like a lot of them are broke. A lot of them are living below the poverty line. The average OF chick is making what, $150 a month. Don't let these chicks fool you and getting you to think that, or they just out here thriving and living. They're not. They're not. Most people aren't. What we do is we pay attention to what we want to pay attention to. We look at, oh, well, look what they're doing on social media, and usually it's all cap, man. A lot of people rent stuff just to show off. So no, I think that before Cluck, I don't want to make this too long. I just want to say this. You have a lot of people, especially women. They say that they don't need men, but they say that in the first world country where everything is pretty much done for them, you still will need force from men. I don't care what system you think you're in. I don't care how far you think you come as women. You still need men. You still need the law enforcement. You're still going to want a man to show up. You can say, oh, no, that's not true. I can go get a gun. You can say it all you want. If you're in a dire situation, even I would want a man to show up, okay? And I'm a man, clearly. It's like we know what it is. We just live in a first world country, because I don't see this really happening in third world countries where there's a clear, like, hey, we need each other, right? Because other men will come harm my woman, or, you know, if I'm a woman, other men will come harm me, and etc., right? And we need a man to be appreciated and to do the heavy lifting for us while we try to make his life easier. And that's all a man want. Man, come home after work, you don't want to hear no yapping. If it ain't something for real, like, you know what I mean? Like, he just trying to, you know, we're not saying that, hey, we shouldn't listen to women or value any of that stuff, but it's like, again, they come from a privileged situation. Men have to earn their value. Men have to, you know, like okay, imagine people be like, man, I wish I was 22 again. Do you really, as a man, do you really wish you were 22 again? When you understand I'm 34. When I understand at 22, my value, most 22-year-olds aren't making money. They say as you get older, especially as a man, you make more money, especially when you get to the point where you understand, okay, I don't need to do this. I don't need to spend my money on that. I don't go out. You don't go out as much. You don't drink as much, right? If you're still doing that around 40, 50 years old, then, man, listen, I know people like that. They just can never get it together. So I just want to be clear. It's not like you automatically get older and you automatically get it together. Just like there's still women out here, they don't want to be wives. They just want to be out here every day at the bars and the club kicking it. That's all they want to do. They don't want to do nothing else. They ain't gonna ever. I know a chick I used to talk to like that. A single mother. Ain't on nothing. Wasting my time for a very long time. I had to kick her to the curb. Get out. Get out. Hey, I'll get the door for you. Get out. Right? Shit, I gotta file for bankruptcy, but still be out here at the bars and the clubs, turning up, being broke, living with her mama. Okay. See, but guess what? She still have a chance though over a guy who's just a 22-year-old who just out here just trying to hang out, because again, she have a chance, a small chance. What do I mean by small chance? I mean, it ain't gonna be likely the guy that she want. Ain't gonna be with a guy that she want to be with. See, women gotta understand, when we're younger, we don't have nothing as a man. We have to either get in the gym, or just be very good looking, or just somehow get lucky and just, you know, have money and have clout and fame as a 21, 22-year-old. As an 18, 21-year-old chick, she's at her best time and best peak, best fertility, all of that to have children. Okay? Men can just pick that up. Men will pick her up regardless. Men will want her regardless. Especially if she's not obese, which the average woman is like, what, 174. Okay. So, but it's just, it shifts, it flips, because then now when we get older, women would like an older guy. I see it all the time at the place I work at. You got women who wants an older guy because he seems like he's more established, and guess what? He likely more what? Financially sound. He's more likely on his stuff. Versus a kid who's 22 years old who's just still out here drinking all the time and got, you know, he just in school. It's not the same. But a woman who is just older, she can't, you know, and then I'm trying to tell this one chick online, you know, like, hey, look, I'm not trying to, women are having kids later. Geriatric pregnancy is around 35 years old. Okay, it's like they're having kids later because they're career driven. And then who are you doing this for? You're doing this for you. You're career driven And you're doing this for what? You're trying to prove a point that you don't need a man when you're a house broke. You have a mortgage, but you can't keep up with the payments. Okay? A lot of people buy houses just to flex. I don't like listen, here's my advice. Live frugally as much as you can, especially if you don't have children, as I don't. Anyways, hold on. The way these chicks are moving and, the family court laws and all of these things, I would just be very careful. And no, I don't hate women. I just want to be very clear. Let me define what misogyny means, because a lot of women don't seem to understand that. A lot of these beta and simps, who want to agree with them, don't get it. Misogyny is the hatred and contempt of women. Now, I don't think hating and holding someone accountability are the same. I don't think that's what that is. If I'm holding you accountable because you want to be out here with the men, and then you're not pulling your weight, and you think, you should get all the opportunities because of your gender, then that's a problem. Doesn't mean I hate you, but it just means I'm holding you accountable, right? It's just that simple. But hey, I see a lot of misandry out here. There's a lot of women can literally say, I hate men. They say it all the time on TikTok, and, F men's mental health month. See, now I will tell you, the way these chicks acting now, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see some form of massage. I wouldn't see it. You already got a lot of guys up here. It's like, I'm not going to help her out. She got it. No, I'm not going to hold the door open for her because y'all don't care. And then it's not only that, these chicks literally sit here and back up these females. So let's say they're not saying it, but then they'll back it up. They're not, because then they're afraid to be called pick me. They don't want to go against the sisterhood. They don't want to do all that. So that's just my whole thing. Is I just want to be very clear. Is that, to me, I believe in accountability. We all age. Yes, we all don't move the same. Yes, you got guys who have health problems later down the line. I get all of that stuff, man. ED, all that stuff. If you don't take care of yourself, or just in general, as just age. I get the stuff that things challenge for men. But I'm going to tell you, they say life's cheaper for a man if he's single. But no, they say life is life's expensive for a man who's in a relationship. But life is more expensive for women who are single. Because women still got to put on the makeup. They still got to put on, somehow they put on the makeup. They went from a 3 to a 10. They do all of this stuff. They forget that they're still overweight. But they got all these, I need him to be 6 feet this. And, only 14% of men are 6 feet. But they don't care about numbers. They only care about, one thing I want y'all to understand before I close. I know I keep saying I'm going to close out. Okay, I'm just waiting for them to go by, because it's like they know I'm recording, but then they got this fire truck. All right, whatever. Is that only 14% of men are over 6 feet tall, right? God damn, I just lost my damn train of thought. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, I'm pretty much done then. I'm pretty sure I'll make more videos and stuff like that, but I'm just closing out that at the end of the day. It's nice that we can have each other. One day, I don't think it's gonna happen in our lifetime. The way these women are, mind controlled of thinking that they are doing better than what they are. They're not. Just look up the numbers. Anytime, I want you people to understand this. Just look up the numbers. Possibilities versus probabilities. People always go off the possibilities. They always go off the what ifs. They always want to go off the anecdotal experiences. Like, hey, I only lived 20 years, but in my eyeballs, I've never seen it. That means it doesn't exist. That means it isn't true. That's what they do all the time. But they don't understand that that's just not logical. Because there's studies, and even though the studies may not be completely of everybody in the world, but it's still a great sample size, a great size. That's just what it is. And as I've gotten older, I started to understand why I am for certain changes in society. Like, I started to understand why Trump is doing this. I'm glad he's doing that. And all I'm going to tell y'all, these student loans, listen, I'll just end it just like this. I know I said this 10 times, but I love the sound of my voice. Just go to TikTok. When you hear women saying, oh, I'm very happy about them, just go to TikTok, type in single women dating or single women over the age of 30 and 40. There you go. It's that simple. All you got to do is go to TikTok, type in single women over 30 and 40, and let them tell you. Right? Because we know they say one thing and then they do the other. But I appreciate you guys listening and all that good stuff. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I am going to try to do these weekly. And tell me your thoughts below. And again, this is no hate. This is just me being very objective. All right. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. And peace.